Hey everyone, Jared here. Welcome to episode 7 of our mini drum lesson series. Today, it's time for you to learn how to read drum music. So, here we go. All right, everyone, welcome back to our mini drum lesson series. I'm teaching you how to play the drums, starting from the very basics of drumming, and then we're just going to work our way towards more advanced material. Today, you're going to learn how to read drum notation. So before we go any further, it's going to be very helpful for you if you click the link in the description of this video and download the PDF that we're going to be looking at. I'm also going to throw the notation on the screen for you, but it's easiest if you have your own PDF pulled up. You can print it out or just look at it on your phone or whatever to follow along. So go ahead and get that going, and we're going to just jump right in. So far, we have learned the names of the drums. We have learned some basic drum patterns. We've learned 8 on a hand. We've learned single stroke roll. We have learned some basic grooves, 4 on the floor, like 8th notes on the kick. We've learned the 8th note build, drum fill. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to read drum music, all right? Drums have their own set of notation, just like any other instrument. So we're going to be talking about the actual symbols that tell you which part of the drum set to play, and also the note values. We're going to review that as well. So today we're just going to be covering the 3 big things you need to know: hi-hat, snare, and kick. So go ahead and just look at that first line on the PDF. You're going to see the X at the top of the staff. That is the hi-hat. Okay, whenever you see an X on drum notation, it generally means that you're going to play a cymbal, okay? And specifically, when you see this X, you're going to play the hi-hat. Now, if that same note were to have a circle written above it, that means you would play an open hi-hat. But for now, it just wants you to do a closed hi-hat, okay? So that's the hi-hat. And then the space, the third space up, is the snare on the staff, okay? So that's going to be the snare drum there. And then on the very bottom space of the staff with, on this music, I have the stem, the line of the note facing down. That's the kick drum. Now, there are different ways to notate it where the line may not be facing down. It may be connected to some of the other notes. But the way that I've written it on this PDF is with the stem facing down for the kick drum. Okay, now let's look at the second line, okay? This is going to be reviewing the note values. Okay, we've talked about these before, but we haven't actually visualized them. So first we have the quarter note and the quarter rest, okay? Remember, quarter notes are 1 hit per beat. So if our metronome or our song is going like this, 1, 2, 3, those are quarter notes. Remember, your metronome is always just set default to quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then the squiggly line, that is the symbol that it's telling you to not play for 1 hit or at the speed of 1 hit per beat, okay? So when you see that symbol, you are going to skip that beat and not play anything, all right? Moving on, we have 8th notes, all right? And 8th notes, a single 8th note looks just like a quarter note, except it has a flag drawn off the side of it. Okay, and remember the 8th notes are at the speed of 2 hits per beat. So if we had our beat going like this again, these are quarter notes. Our 8th notes would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and because we're doing 2 hits per the big quarter note counts per 1, 2, 3. You got to fit 2 in there. Da da 1 2 1 2. All right, those are 8th notes. And then the 8th rest it sort of looks like an 8th note, similar, like it's got the slash and the 1 flag. You'll see when we get to the 16th rest and the 16th notes, you just add flags to it. So the 8th rest is just that sort of squiggle. You could think of it kind of looks like a 7, but that's an 8th rest, so you'll pause for half a beat. And then the next 2 notes is just showing you what 2 8th notes look like when they're side by side, okay? Those flags coming off the notes actually connect and make a straight line, all right? So that's what 2 or more 8th notes will look like when they're back to back. You have that straight line connecting them. All right, lastly, we have the 16th notes. So 2 flags coming off the note now. and 2 little swirly things on the rest, 16th rest as well. So now you're moving at the speed of 4 hits per beat. Okay, you're dividing that quarter note into 4 equal parts. So if our beat was like this, 2, 3 16th notes are 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. All right? And then I drew there just what 2 or more 16th notes look like side by side. Same thing as the 8th notes. The flags connect, and now you have 2 horizontal lines connecting those notes. All right, so now we're ready to get into actually some of these examples. So we're just going to go slowly through these. They start off really easy and then are gradually going to get harder. So number 1, let's just play this nice and slow. All right, let me put the mic over here. All right, so here we go. Number 1. And remember, the X is the hi-hat, the middle space is the snare, and then the note with the stem facing down, the note at the bottom space is the kick drum. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, not so bad. That's number 1. Let's go on to number 2 next. So now we're going to have some 8th notes. We also have a quarter rest, so be watching out for that. Remember, 8th notes are 2 hits per beat, 1 and 2, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and rest. All right, now number 3, we're going to go a little slower. Now we're using all the different note values, quarter notes, 8th notes, and 16th notes. And on the 3rd measure, we have playing on all the upbeats. We have an 8th rest, an 8th note, 8th rest, 8th note, 8th note, 8th rest, 8th note, 8th rest, 8th note. So you're playing on the ands. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And so let's go slowly and count this one out. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3E and a 4. 1 and rest. 3E and a 4. Rest and rest and rest and rest and 1E and a 2 and 3. Rest. All right, that's number 3. So number 4, moving forward towards the bottom, we're going to be actually doing all 3 parts of the drum set simultaneously. Well, they'll hit simultaneously at some points, but what I mean more is that you're going to use all 3 parts of the drum set in one measure, okay? So what you're going to mostly see is that the hi-hat and the bass drum, or your right hand and your right foot, if you're right-handed, left hand, left foot, if you're left side dominant, they're going to be hitting together, okay? So you really want to get in the habit of this. So we start off with just quarter notes on number 4, and then we're going to get into some actual drum beat type grooves for the next 3 examples. So here we go, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so very good. As we move on to the next 3 examples, 5, 6, and 7, what I want you to notice is that the hands are going to be doing the exact same thing the entire time, the right hand and the left hand on the snare. So you're going to be doing steady 8th notes on the hi-hat with your right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and your snare is going to play our backbeat on 2 and 4. This is a very, very common thing. Okay, so you want to get used and comfortable to doing this. So for 5, 6, and 7, your hands don't change at all. all we're doing is focusing on playing some different kick drum patterns. All right, so here we go. Number 5. 1 and 2 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, number 6. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, last one, number 7. Here we go. 2, ready, set, go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 and. All right. Very good. I hope you guys are able to follow along with that and that is all making sense. Just take your time working through this PDF. Watch this video as many times as you need to for this to click, okay? You really need to understand this, the hi-hat, snare, bass drum, be able to identify that quickly on the music and to get a solid grasp on quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you would, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and if you feel so inclined, leave a comment or share this video with someone. That helps the video reach more viewers. So thank you guys so much. Happy drumming, and I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks, guys.